Folks, don't fall for this trap. I'll get into that and then the latest home prices and insights for the Peel and Durham region for week ending October 2nd, 2024. I was speaking with somebody earlier this week. They purchased a property not too long ago. They've closed on it. It's not one of my clients, but they were asking for advice, direction. And I said, well, you really need to be speaking with the agent that you were dealing with. And he said, well, no, I think I might have to sue the agent, so he's really not the person I should speak with. And I said, oh, well, then you really should be focusing your issues towards and speaking with the real estate lawyer that helped you with this transaction. After all, that's your lawyer. He said, well, it was an in-house lawyer that the agent referred, and I'm not comfortable speaking with that lawyer because that's kind of part of the problem. And I'm not going to get into the whole routine of what happened. It's more of the circumstances of how and what happened. And I said, well, at the very least, you got to figure out what happened by talking to your home inspector. Tell them what happened. He said, well, the home inspector was kind of referred by my agent. It was in-house. And I have sent a couple of emails to the home inspector, and it's my agent that responds to me, not the home inspector. I'm kind of seeing what's going on here. He hired an agent that had all these services in-house. Oh, had nothing to do with the issue, but mortgage broker also was in-house. But the issue wasn't the mortgage. It was really about the purchase and what they bought under misleading circumstances, we'll just say. Real estate lawyer, mortgage broker, home inspector was all in-house. And it seems convenient, doesn't it? You hire an agent to help you buy, and everybody's supplied. It's all part of the process. And I think, wow, this is efficient. This is convenient. It is and it isn't. It is convenient if those services, legal, home inspection, if they're all loyal to you, the buyer, the client. If they're more loyal to the brokerage or to the agent, then those aren't the best choices for you. And your recourse is kind of going to be limited unless you go outside of that sphere and hire another lawyer now to get involved with that. And it just complicates things way more than they need to be. Now, nothing wrong with referring services. I refer people all the time. If a client asks me, if we talk about mortgages, I refer a mortgage broker. If a client talks to me, say, I ask when, we're purchasing a property, hey, do you have a real estate lawyer that you're comfortable using? If they say, no, I don't have any, can you refer? Of course, I could refer everybody. We have realtors, we have experience working with different people. I will refer a real estate lawyer that I have referred many times that I know does a great job. I will refer a mortgage broker. I will refer a home inspector. The difference between what a good realtor does with referrals and the realtor that this person who called me was dealing with, very, very different. When good realtors refer somebody, I'll use myself as an example. When I refer a real estate lawyer, once I've made the referral, it could be introducing him in an email or just passing the contact information on to my client. That lawyer I referred, that I've referred many times, my client becomes that lawyer's client. I'm out of the picture. I'm not privy to their confidential conversations. I'm not part of that loop anymore. And then they do what they do, and I'm on a need-to-know basis of what's important for me to know. So if there's conditions, once the conditions are done, I will send it to the lawyer and I will send it to my client, but they're always copied and I'm out of the loop. If I refer a mortgage broker, once the referral is done, I'm out of the loop. They become clients and customers on their own. And I find out at the appropriate time, yes, we have a pre-approval. This is the amount. It's my clients telling me that. I'm not involved anymore with that referral. They do what they do. Those people I refer have their own pricing. They said, I don't run their business. If they stop doing a good job for my clients, I stop referring them. That's their incentive. My clients have to say to me, thank you, that mortgage broker was awesome, or thank you, that contractor, that lawyer, she was great, thank you. That's what keeps me referring the same people. They do a good job. But if you're not feeling that, if the agent is, in a sense, handling everything, even though he's referring people to you, seems to be the one that's controlling everything and needs to be involved in everything, and you message the lawyer and your agent gets back to you, not the lawyer, or vice versa. There's so many red flags in the process you will see. That's not good. And those are the situations where you will be taken advantage of. And you need to see these red flags. Just because it's convenient, it doesn't mean you should stop thinking as a buyer. Just because it's easy, it's simple, or the fees are going to be covered in-house, doesn't mean it's a good thing. Be careful. You want to see this up front instead of learn the lesson later when it's kind of too late or the damage is done. If you think this video can help somebody know, please pass it along. If you get value from what we're talking about, subscribe. And if you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, it's really simple. There's a link to my calendar here, another one below this video in the description. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Now, let's get into the numbers. Folks, at the end of this video, check out this townhouse that backs onto a forest. It's larger than many of the smaller detached available for sale. Check it out at the end of this video. So, normally, we break all the data down on a weekly basis, and we're going to be doing that in this show. But I'm going to start off with one chart that breaks all the data down on a monthly basis. This is for all of Peel. It's not just Mississauga or Brampton. It's for all of Peel, for detached properties only. And the most recent full month completed is September 2024. But I'm going back each September. The black highlights each September back to September 2020. 445 detached properties were sold for this past September 2024, across Peel region, 445. Last year, it was 382 sold for September. So we're selling more this September than last year. In September 2022, it was 414 detached properties sold. So we're outselling 2022 also. Not by much, but it's up instead of down. That's where it changes though. Compared to 2021, 810 were sold. And in 2020, 1,164 were sold versus 445. So sales are way down if you compare it to 20 and 21. Not so much. We're up, but not by much compared to 22 and 2023. It all depends on how you want to look at things. Let's look at pricing. Average sold price for September for detached properties across Peel region is $1,317,000. 2022, lots of things changed. That's why I kind of have the border here. September 2022, average sold price kind of looks like it's barely moved. If we just compare to the previous year, we are up 0.6% versus last September's average sold price. Compared to September 2022, it's actually averaged out. There's no change. It's actually up 0.1%. But if we round, there's no percentage change. 1,317,000, 1,317,000. So it's pretty flat over the last 2 years, September comparing September. So prices really haven't changed that much. That's for all of Peel region. But if we go back a bit compared to 2021, we're almost 10% below 2021 prices. Compared to 2020, I'm confusing myself, we're actually up 17%. And I added in here, if we compare to detached properties in Peel region, just detached, average sold prices compared to 2019, we're up 35% in average sold prices. So if you bought over here, 2020, 2019, or prior, you're way up. If it's just in the last couple of years, not a lot of change in average sold price. Here's our weekly program. We're going to be focused on Mississauga, Brampton, and the Durham region for average sold prices. We're going to start off with Mississauga. Before I get into the sales, 9 properties sold at $2 million or more. That's higher. There's only been one other week that we hit 9. We hit a couple of 2, 3, or 4 8s, but 9 is more than what we normally see selling at $2 million or more. 43 detached properties were sold. And if we just focus on the last 3 or 4 weeks, so the fall market from September 4th onwards, the last 3 weeks, we've sold 40, 43, then 43 again, kind of steady. Average sold price shot up. It's now at $1,528,000. The 9 selling at $2 million or more for sure has a lot to do with average sold price jumping up. Compared to last year, 1,528 is 11% higher. The median price is 2% higher. And that 2% I think is more indicative of the general detached market in Mississauga. 43 were sold, 23% sold at list price or more. Listings. Now, in almost every video, every show that I'm doing in the different parts of the GTA, this is the pattern we're seeing. September 4th to September 11th, listings shot up. Then each week, listings are kind of trending down. Active listings up, but this 1 week from September 25th to October 2nd, active listings came down a bit. Months of inventory sitting, this is for Mississauga for detached properties, months of inventory sitting at 4 months of inventory, no change from the previous week, pretty much a balanced market. Here's Brampton. 52 detached properties were sold. One of those was at $2 million or more. 52, pretty steady, what we've been kind of averaging out on a weekly basis in the fall market. Average sold price up from the previous week, now sitting at $1,191,000. 1,191 is 3% higher year over year. The median price is 3% lower year over year. 52 were sold, 37% sold at list price or more. That percentage is trending upwards. Listings, same story as we see in a lot of other areas. Listings are trending down. Active listings was up, now coming down. Months of inventory sitting at 4.1 months of inventory, a balanced market. Here's Durham. Now for Durham, I'm using Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby as my Durham sample. 48 detached properties were sold. One of those was at $2 million or more. 48, you decide. Because I see it all as pretty similar. 38, 47, 42, 48. To me, there's an argument to say, yeah, sales are maybe trending up, but we're pretty much in the ballpark. Average sold price is $1,131,000. which is a 0% change over the price this time a year ago. The median price is 6% higher. Prices, and I'm looking at the dotted line now, the 4-week moving average, pretty flat over the last few weeks. If anything, maybe it's trending down slightly, but it's not a major change. 48 were sold, 35% sold at list price or more. Listings behaving a little bit different than all the other areas, but similar. Listings shot up, down, kind of the same, then up a little bit, and active listings were climbing up, but now they're down. 2.4 months of inventory. If we look back 3 months, there's only been 2 weeks where we had more than 3 months of inventory. It's usually just under, and now we're sitting at 2.4 months of inventory. Here's a quick summary. In most cases, you're going to experience a balanced market. In some situation, we just experienced this on a property we sold not too long ago, where lots of people, lots of buyers jumped in to see it quickly. We had multiple offers. So, that one situation became more of a seller's market, and our client, the seller, we were in charge of kind of pushing up the price. But usually you're going to be in more of a balanced market across the board in Mississauga, Brampton, and the Durham region. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day. You're about to see 29 Oleana Way in Brampton. This is a large 4-bedroom townhouse over 2,300 square feet, and it still has room for a large office. It's a modern home, and the big lot, backs onto a forest. Have a look.